The aftermath of their victory over the rogue ninja stronghold left Naruko and her team weary yet resolute. They returned to Konoha amidst a mixture of relief and apprehension, their minds already turning to their next steps in unraveling the mystery behind the bandit attacks that had threatened their village's borders. In the days that followed, they meticulously analyzed the intelligence gathered from the destroyed encampment, piecing together clues that pointed towards the rogue ninja's next potential target. Each scrap of information brought them closer to understanding his motives and the scope of his operations. But the elusive figure remained one step ahead, his true identity still shrouded in shadows. "We need a breakthrough," Sakura murmured one evening as they gathered in Kakashi's office, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of lantern light. "We're running out of time." Kakashi nodded thoughtfully, his visible eye scanning the map spread out on his desk. "Agreed. We've disrupted his operations, but he's proven to be resourceful and cunning. We can't afford to underestimate him." Naruko clenched her fists, frustration and determination burning brightly in her eyes. "There has to be a pattern, a connection that we've missed, something that ties all of this together." Sasuke leaned forward, his expression focused and intense. "What if he's using the bandit attacks to distract us from his true objective? What if there's something else he's planning, something bigger?" Kakashi's gaze hardened with realization. "It's possible. We've been so focused on stopping the attacks that we might have overlooked his endgame. We need to think like him, anticipate his next move before he makes it." Their discussion was interrupted by a discreet knock on the door, followed by the arrival of a messenger bearing urgent news from the Hokage. Hiruzen Sarutobi's voice echoed with gravity as he informed them of a new development: a series of mysterious disappearances in a remote village on the outskirts of the Land of Fire. "The villagers claim that people have been vanishing without a trace," Hiruzen explained, his brow furrowed with concern. "We suspect that the rogue ninja may be involved. You're to investigate these disappearances and apprehend anyone responsible." Naruko exchanged a concerned glance with her teammates, their unease palpable as they absorbed the implications of Hiruzen's words. The rogue ninja's actions had taken a darker turn, threatening innocent lives and plunging the region into a state of fear and uncertainty. "We'll leave immediately, Hokage-sama," Kakashi assured him with a firm nod. "We'll get to the bottom of this." Their journey to the remote village was fraught with tension and apprehension, the weight of their mission pressing down on them with each passing mile. The air was thick with an unsettling silence as they approached the village under the cover of night, their senses on high alert for any signs of danger or hidden threats. Upon their arrival, they were met with a chilling sight. The village appeared deserted, its homes and storefronts eerily silent and devoid of life. Naruko's heart sank as she surveyed the abandoned streets, a cold knot of dread forming in her stomach. "There's definitely something wrong here," Sakura murmured quietly, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. "People don't just vanish without a trace." Kakashi nodded grimly, his gaze sweeping over their surroundings with a critical eye. "We need to investigate the village, search for any clues that might lead us to the missing villagers." They split up to cover more ground, each member of the team moving with cautious determination as they combed through the deserted village. Naruko's keen instincts led her to a small shrine at the village's center, where she discovered a series of faded markings etched into the stone. "These markings," Naruko murmured, studying the intricate patterns with furrowed brow. "They look similar to the ones we saw on the bandits' uniforms." Sakura joined her side, her eyes narrowing in concentration as she examined the markings. "Do you think there's a connection? Could the rogue ninja be using these symbols to signal his involvement?" Kakashi approached silently, his gaze focused on the markings as he considered their implications. "It's possible. These symbols could be a key to unraveling his plans. We need to find out more." Their investigation led them to a secluded cave hidden deep within the surrounding wilderness, a makeshift prison where the missing villagers were held captive under deplorable conditions. The air inside the cave was thick with despair and fear as they approached cautiously, their hearts heavy with sorrow at the sight of the villagers huddled together in darkness. "We're here to help," Naruko announced gently, her voice carrying through the silence of the cave. "You're safe now," The villagers looked up with wide eyes filled with a mixture of relief and disbelief, their faces drawn with exhaustion and despair. Naruko and her team worked quickly to free them from their bonds, providing comfort and reassurance as they escorted them back to the village under the watchful eye of an ANBU squad dispatched by the Hokage. Among the rescued villagers, they discovered a survivor who recounted tales of the rogue ninja's cruelty and ambition, a shadowy figure who had exploited their village for his own gain, using fear and intimidation to control and manipulate its inhabitants. He spoke of a grand plan. The survivor whispered fearfully, his voice trembling with dread. He's gathering power, building an army. He wants to challenge Konoha's authority. Naruko's jaw tightened with determination as she listened to the survivor's account. The rogue ninja's ambitions extended beyond mere banditry. He posed a direct threat to Konoha's security and stability, his actions driven by a dangerous ideology that sought to sow chaos and discord throughout the region. "We need to stop him," Sasuke declared quietly, his voice filled with resolve, "before he can cause any more harm." Kakashi nodded in agreement, his expression grave as he considered their next move. "We'll report back to the Hokage and prepare for a final assault on the rogue ninja's base of operations. We can't afford to let him slip through our fingers again." As they regrouped and made their way back to Konoha with the rescued villagers in tow, Naruko knew that their journey was nearing its climax. The rogue ninja's shadow loomed large over the region, threatening everything they held dear. But with their bonds of friendship and trust stronger than ever, Naruko, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi stood united against the looming threat, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in their relentless pursuit of justice and peace for the village they swore to protect.